What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Probably a little better day than Kevin Smith, who is now on 11 days straight of ignoring the insane backlash and the spectacular backfire that ensued when he tried to spin Masters of the Universe Tila Edition, when he tried to spin all the backlash that he had received as haters, and people were just ignorant. And Netflix actually really liked the immense backlash they had received. This was actually just a vocal minority, said Kevin Smith. And so Netflix was really happy with him. And that's exactly why they haven't announced a second season of Masters of the Universe. And Netflix has remained relatively quiet after getting absolutely destroyed in every single video they upload on their YouTube channel in some sad attempt to continue to promote this show. And before you go further, I recommend putting on some protective goggles because we're going to get into how the media has started turning against Kevin Smith. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, BLASTS. Look, I've been on my phone and my TV more than probably ever in my life, and I'm sure you are too. Have you ever kind of felt that tired, kind of heavy feeling in your eyes? Well, some say that's because of too much blue light. Blue light damages our eyes and leads to digital eye strain. Symptoms of digital eye strain are blurred vision, headaches, dry and watery eyes. For some, it could be even worse. BLASTS was created to fix this problem and block out blue light with high-quality lenses. BLASTS has over 40 hip frames and come in prescription and non-prescription as well as readers. They have frames that fit every need. Go to BlueBox.com/thequartering and use promo code TheQuartering at checkout to get 20% off and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $115. Get your energy back, sleep better, and block out the unhealthy effects of blue light with BLUBLOX. That's BLUBLOX.com/thequartering, or just click the link in the description or pin comment below. Now, it would appear that even Vice has started to shift the narrative in this latest article. What is fan blaming, and why are He-Man fans mad at Kevin Smith? Amid claims of making the show too woke, Kevin Smith has fired back at the fans in interviews. If you search Kevin Smith's name on YouTube, you'll see a surge of videos last week with sensational thumbnails showing Smith's face crying, overlaid with capital letters, claiming he's exposed, defeated, or experiencing a meltdown. Seems like they've seen a few of my videos. Smith's new He-Man animated series hasn't had a graceful landing on Netflix when it released on July 23rd amid claims of Smith making the show, quote, too woke and abandoning the spirit of the original cartoon. By the way, this is written by Gita Jackson. Smith has fired back at the fans in interviews. In turns, some fans call this fan blaming, an emergent fandom term that signals how much ownership you think fans should have over a thing that they're a fan of. That Smith is at the center of the latest controversy is convenient because he's not a director who's wandered into the world of fandom as an outsider who simply adapted to a beloved franchise. Fans and fandoms have always been central to his work. His debut feature, Clerks, put him on the map not only as a leading director in a new wave 90s indie movies, but for the then groundbreaking decision to allow his characters to discuss pop culture, like the conversation about the politics of blowing up the Death Star, like real fans. His later films would emphasize his fandom for comic books, and he quickly became well known for his enthusiasm of the genre. He even wrote a few comics and his critically acclaimed runs on Green Arrow and Daredevil, as well as a few Batman limited series. For years now, Smith has been creating the culture he used to be a fan of. Smith now says the new He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation, is for older fans who grew up with the original show. The first 5 episodes are currently on Netflix. The second half of the season doesn't have a release date. Isn't that interesting? Why isn't there a release date for the second half of the season? How long would you expect people to wait? This is a really bizarre thing. Like, I have noticed that streaming services, for example, have gone back, including Disney Plus. I don't know if Disney Plus was the first to bring this back, but he did. They started going back to weekly releases. Isn't it funny? They fooled us all. these streaming services. It used to be you'd have Netflix and maybe Hulu and you had everything you needed. Now you need Shudder, you need Paramount Plus, you need Peacock, you need Disney Plus, you need Hulu Plus, you need Netflix Plus, you need all these streaming services. It used to be the argument was, man, I'm just sick of paying for all these channels I don't need. I only watch 2 or 3 channels, so streaming's a perfect fit for me. And now look at us. We're paying for 10 streaming services for 10 different shows and 10,000 shows that we don't watch. It's actually a worse experience, in my opinion, than traditional cable was. And I actually predict a either complete cutting of the cord and more pirating increasing, which I think is already happening, but a renaissance of actual like cable packages and satellite TV packages, because it's even gotten to the point now where I'm just like, we have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I think I did a Paramount Plus 7-day trial so I could watch new episodes of Evil. And then it's like, I sit down, I turn on the TV, I got to open an app. Then I got to find the show I want to watch on that app. Then I have to click on it. And then when I accidentally misclick, I have to hit back. And it's a totally like degenerate experience compared to what it used to be. Degraded, I should say, not degenerate. And it sucks. But anyway, 11th day now of Kevin Smith not saying a single thing about the second half of the season. Like, are they not going to release it? That seems unlikely, right? But it's been now almost 11 days, since Kevin Smith has said a single thing about this show. Actually, here's the July 26th saying it. So that's what, 10 days. But where? Where is you haven't talked about it. Why aren't they releasing it? Master of the Universe Revelations was not unanimously received as a slam dunk. Some fans took issue with what they felt was an insufficient amount of He-Man in his own show. Rather than take this laying down, Smith defended his own work. He didn't, by telling Variety, "You really effing think Mattel Television, who hired and paid me money, wants to do a Master of the Universe show without He-Man? Grow up, man." Some of the ways that Smith defended himself have rubbed certain fans the wrong way, and they're using an emergent piece of internet terminology to describe it: fan blaming. As a term, it exists somewhere halfway between gaslighting and victim blaming. The idea that the creators who make unpopular creative decisions in legacy nerd media will blame the fans for negative reactions, rather than taking the blame for their own presumably bad creative choices. It is reasonable that some He-Man fans would be upset that Master of the Universe show doesn't have a lot of He-Man. Is it reasonable? Of course it is. To those fans, saying that some fans have unrealistic expectations about the media they love is denying them their God-given right to dictate how that media is made, and also to complain when it misses the mark. Wow, this is actually like Vice, a Vice article that actually goes against Kevin Smith and supports fandom. Although the kinds of people use fan blaming retroactively applied to many fandoms that have feuded with creators, Star Wars fandoms, and the ongoing reaction to Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, probably the idea began to solidify. Johnson's movie did not deliver what fans expected, and some of them were and continue to be very upset about. Probably too much ink has been spilled about the movie and the negative reaction to it. But Johnson's refusal to disavow any parts of the film, to apologize to fans, or even to consider a part of the creative process at all seems to bother them. When critics disliked the next movie and the reviews pointed out that it seemed to point by point dismantle Johnson's work, Star Wars fans took umbrage at being blamed for the subpar Space Wizard movie. Smith has been accused of fan blaming repeatedly because he has not been shy about talking about the negative reaction of Master of the Universe Revelation. He's also responded to specific fans and their specific complaints, which began a year before the show even aired. Link it to Real Calmfish TV. Fans have taken issues with the aspects of the show's marketing, which they felt didn't represent the actual show. The trailers in particular show a lot of He-Man, and they say just not as much He-Man on the show. Smith has been resolute in saying that people who are upset about the twists and turns of the show simply don't understand how stories are told. Only half the season is currently out, and Smith hopes that fans will give it time. Some fans, on the other hand, think that they were advertised a show about He-Man and were delivered a woke show about female characters. But the ongoing nitpicking over sequels and legacy nerd media, like the Voltron or She-Ra shows, which show notably more diverse casts, and original fans began speculating that Smith's Master of the Universe would follow suit. The speculation that He-Man would be sidelined in the new He-Man show began months before the premiere. Motherboard reached out to Kevin Smith about fan blaming and the response to Master of the Universe Revelation, and he did not immediately respond, which is curious to me because he's always had so much to say. It's been interesting to watch, media slowly start to turn on Kevin Smith and He-Man. Is this the last we'll hear of it? No, because we're going to have a part 2. And it's going to suck too, based on what we've heard. It doesn't look good, but make sure you click that red subscribe button down below the video, and I'll make sure I cover each and every bit of it. Make sure you check out this video's sponsor, BlueBlocks. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.